go to the polls in 2 weeks' time.
Reza Marashi is the research director at the National Iranian-American Council. He joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Thanks for being with us. How will Iranians be feeling about Netanyahu, it seems, trying to get between the U.S. and Iran?
Well, I think that many Iranians will be of two minds. On the one hand, they don't much appreciate the description that Prime Minister Netanyahu put forward of their country. That's for starters. I think, but more generally, however, you'll see Iranians that are thinking to themselves, maybe it's not so bad if the United States and Israel aren't on the same page. Maybe that ends up making our negotiators look good to hardliners inside of Iran. Iranian negotiators can certainly point at Netanyahu's speech and say, this man is so opposed to the deal that we're negotiating, surely it must not be as bad for Iran as Iranian hardliners are making it out to be. So perhaps there's a silver lining in all of this.
Isn't there an irony in that hawkishly demanding zero enrichment for Iran in the name of peace, and Netanyahu is effectively stoking war?
I couldn't have said it better myself. Not only is that irony thick, it's also an impossible objective to achieve zero enrichment, and this has been widely understood for over a decade now. So the Prime Minister coming here, insisting upon objectives that simply are not attainable, is really just an attempt on his part to try and fast-track war and divide the White House and the Congress further, and use the Congress in an effort to try and torpedo President Obama's diplomatic initiative with Iran.
And talking of that initiative, I mean, it's been observed that the relations between Iran and the U.S. since President Rouhani came to power have been increasingly cooperative. What do you make of Obama's Iran policy right now? Has working more closely with the Iranians benefited everybody, including Israel?
Well, I wouldn't even go as far as to say that Iran and the United States are working closely. I would say that they are relearning, after 3 decades, how to communicate with one another in a functional way. And the nuclear issue became the 8,000-pound gorilla in the room that needed to be addressed first. No other issue is really going to be able to be addressed until this issue is somewhat resolved, or fully resolved, excuse me. After, if and when that takes place, then we can start to see greater cooperation that goes beyond the kind of communication that we're seeing today. But make no mistake, what was once impossible for 3 decades is now routine with regards to the common types of interaction we see between Iranian and American officials.
Reza Marashi, good to talk to you, sir. Many thanks indeed for being with us. Well, Netanyahu's address comes as nuclear talks are ongoing in Switzerland.